statement for the defense. Thank you, Your Honor, for your time during this proceeding. Okay, I just tell you guys this. I don't. Okay, I don't know what the opposing side is going to say right now, so I'm just trying to use what she practiced, and then I'm gonna try to make something out of that. Okay. During the opening statement of the plaintiff, she said that CPU deceived Morgan Martin into attending their university, and that he didn't know that this was a for-profit school. During the cross-examination of Morgan Martin, you heard him say that he was eager to attend this school no matter what cost. Morgan Martin, I'm sorry, it was made clear to Morgan Martin by Dana Datter, the admission dean, that there would be some fees attending this for-profit university. You have also heard during the direct examination of Casey Keys and a student who graduated from CPU, the valedictorian of her class, that she have seen Morgan Martin in the common areas, playing around and not attending classes. You have heard during her direct examination that she has never seen him in the library or the lab taking advantage of the many opportunities that CPU has to offer. You've also heard in his cross-examination that he was advised against attending CPU. However, since he wanted to go there, he decided to sign the paper and attend. This is just something that I'm trying here. Under the New York State law, anyone as young as 13 years old, obviously due to the nature of their crime, can be tried as an adult. What does this mean, and how is this relevant? If it is believed that a 13-year-old has the capabilities to take responsibility for their actions and have ample reasoning skills and experience to acknowledge what she or he did was wrong, then by all means, an 18-year-old legal adulthood, then by all means, an 18-year-old who is a legal adult should be embarrassed if they aren't able to comprehend that every contract comes with terms and conditions. Mr. Martin testified during cross-examination. During cross-examination, you've learned that Mr. Martin can read. Therefore, it isn't anyone's fault but his fault that he didn't take 5 minutes to read the terms and the conditions of the contract that he was signing. And that's all I have so far.
Okay, so A+ for creativity. Creativity in making the analogy to a 13-year-old is known and held by the law to have certain capabilities, and this 18-year-old should be embarrassed. That was your theme, and that's a great theme. You should hit your theme right away at the start. I think where you got hung up is, and it's a little more difficult to do a summation than an opening, you had a lot of facts. You wanted to lay out the facts and then draw out your conclusions. And I think what happened to you is in trying to do it, you weren't as cohesive as you could have been if you had hit your ending first and last. What was your theme? Your theme is, this was an 18-year-old, an adult, legally able to sign documents, sign loan documents, who was so negligent that he didn't even read the document himself, and now he's turned around and he's suing my client, claiming we did something wrong. Right? That was what I got. You should be embarrassed. Great theme.
Yeah,
but you need to nail it together. Two technical things. If you you watch yourself on videotape or listen to yourself on tape, you would go, okay, I can't say as much as I say When I don't have something to say, when I'm thinking of my next thought, it's perfectly fine not to say anything. Silence can sometimes be a great rhetorical device. And you don't want to get up there and apologize. If you start saying something and it doesn't come out right, just start again. There's no need to say, I'm sorry. Rhetorical devices are great things in speeches. What do we use? How do I get a jury to start thinking something? I might ask them a question. Why is this important? You hope the jury's with you. You can't be convinced they are. So then you tell them why it's important. But you could say to them, why is it important? He's 18 years old. He didn't bother to look. Now he's suing us. This was all there in black and white for him.
The theme is excellent. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the plaintiff is trying to avoid taking responsibility for his actions. He's doing it here, and he's always done it. It's the point you need to make. That's the counterpoint to the deception point. And you hit it hard, and you're almost ruthless with this plaintiff. You can't be nice about it. I like the creativity as well, but they've given you facts in there. He's not only failing to take responsibility here, but he's always acted this way. And you can then move into the evidence, and the jurors will be older people on the jury, and they'll look at this young man of 18 or 20, and you'll connect with them, with that theme, because they're hardworking people, and they take responsibility for their actions every day. So that was a great theme.
Here's a pointer how you can organize your closing. So you start off with your theme about the embarrassment and about not reading, and then launch into your evidence, right? And you can organize yourself by the documents. So the documents here are what? The school application and then the loan application. And can you start? Let's start by an example of how she didn't read, and go into school application and talk about what's in there, and then if there's any kind of testimony that you want to bring up related to the school application, you bring it up at that point too. Then go into the loan application. Talk about what's in the document. This is what it said. Talk about a testimony about the loan application. And then you can add words of deception. It was all there.
Something that you mentioned before you started, you said, I just want to let you know that I don't know what the other side is going to present. I'm guessing you were saying that, meaning you haven't finalized what you're going to say in your closing because you're going to wait until everything is presented. But if you think about it, you do sort of know what the other side is going to present. And I think that it will help you if you predict what they might argue, and even if your side hasn't finalized everything that it will argue, if you predict what is going to happen over the course of the trial and come up with some general ideas, which you have and you did a great job presenting, then you can sort of cross things out if the issues are never raised, and that's more helpful sometimes than adding things in last minute to make you get nervous. You did a great job not reading off of paper, so if it's something that you wrote down, you might be forced to read off of it. So you're better off